Okay, so today we're here with Brandon again. It's been a while since he did a YouTube for us, but it's getting closer to August now, and we just want to know what he's up to, what he's been doing, where he's going. So, how are you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing okay today.
Mm. Okay, so what are your plans just in general? What do you plan on doing in August?
Well, August 11th is my release date, my discharge date. So that's meaning I'm not going to have probation or parole. I plan on going to Fort Worth, Texas. Um, I'm not sure if we mentioned this in the previous podcast,
Mm-hmm.
but my mom had died. So I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to go there and stay with her husband. And my little brother is pretty close by. Um, he actually works for a guy that's doing that owns a bunch of houses. So I'm probably gonna try to get into some make ready, remodeling, landscaping, just a temporary thing while I get the moving on its feet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you will be staying in Texas, but obviously not going back to Corpus Christi.
No, I'm not gonna be going back to Corpus Christi. I'm actually gonna be traveling back and forth from Fort Worth to Connecticut.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, and what about business wise? Do you think you can restart that business you had, or somehow make something similar to that?
Well, I'm gonna start the business over no matter what. Whether I get help or whether I don't get help. Um, I do have plans. I have a 6 month plan for the business. Just be watching out for Flores family packing and cleaning services. Flores family moving, packing and cleaning services. That's going to be the name. I'm going to go get my DBA. If I got to start off with a small trailer, that's what I plan on doing. Rental trucks. Yeah, so I can build enough. So I can get enough for to buy a box truck. That's pretty much my dream right there.
Mm.
So I'll never look back. But
Yeah.
yeah, get the small things like the pads, the dollies, um, dish wrap, shrink wrap. Yeah, everything I need for the moving little by little.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and for all this supplies, do you think there's like people out there who could somehow provide these to you or send them to you?
Oh yeah, if anybody wants to help out or have a donation of some type of material, whether it be dollies, blankets, for the furniture, with padding, plastic materials, whatever the case may be, there ain't no donation too small or too big.
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead and contact us on here, and we can give you the right information to send that, or you can contact me when I get out, and we can go about that in that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just
Like, in other words, we're not,
yeah.
I'm not just trying to have, it doesn't have to be money. It just has to be something that's going to contribute to this business, so I can provide for my family and their ones. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, anything that you could use for work, small things even, that would be appreciated. Um, so I was looking at your LinkedIn, and I guess you have a lot of like history on the whole moving thing, and just like having your own business, and some other like odd jobs, but you mostly spend your time on moving. So how did you get that idea to like start a business on moving?
well, it's kind of like in the family blood, I guess. My dad was a United States veteran for the United States Air Force. He
Mm-hmm.
got out of the military, and he started a moving company, back in the 70s, and ever since then it's just stuck to him. I grew up around it. I grew up answering the phones, booking jobs.
Mm.
It's something that's dear to me. I've been doing this since I was a kid.
Wow.
Obviously, I couldn't drive back then, but yeah, I was moving furniture
Mhm.
Whenever, going behind my dad's back because my dad didn't want to let me get in the back of the truck sometimes. So I would actually go with these other businesses and make money like that, right? But, my dad was always like, "Be the brain, don't be the don't work hard."
Mhm.
I wanted to work hard, so yeah.
Mm. Interesting. What was the name of his company?
Throughout the years, we changed names because we moved a lot. Budget movers, available movers,
Mm.
affordable movers. Yeah, those are some of the moving companies that he had when I was growing up. Some of the names.
Mm. Interesting. Good. So besides the like professional work you had, you also had some experience with your dad. Um, So that's good. Hopefully you can get that started. What about this GoFundMe thing? I know we tried it before. Some people were kind enough to help out. I see you started another one. What's that for? What are you trying to get out of that?
To be honest, I don't know what's gonna go with that. It's obviously a platform that's out there to support and help people. So I'm trying. And if God wants me to get that help and support, then I guess so be it. If not, well then I'll just have to climb up the ladder the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I'm going to climb up that ladder. I'm determined. Basically what I would like though is for someone to invest in me. Um, I got a lot of potential. I could build businesses from the ground up. Not only with the movement, I'm a small individual, but my goal is to raise $10,000 or get a box truck. That
Mm-hmm.
money is really for a box truck. It ain't for nothing else. It's to invest in a business, to invest in the materials that I need for the business,
Mm-hmm.
for the networking, for getting the name out there, and I'm going to start small here in Texas, but it's going to be a local and long distance moving company. So
Mm-hmm.
basically with this moving company, you're not going to have to wait 2 or 3 weeks for your furniture. You call yourself and see the same day delivery, or we're going to be on the road to deliver your furniture as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And, we care about our customers, with no damages. We don't have we're not this big name that just got throw something on the truck, wrap it up, and not care about it. Like we're gonna take care of our customers stuff. One thing
Mm-hmm.
about us that we don't want no damages. We're antique specialists. I'm an antique specialist. I'm a piano specialist, so I
Wow.
specialize in moving all pianos, all antiques. It's something that a lot of people don't want to deal with, but bass, pool tables, you name it, anything that's heavy and hard, well, that's the job I want. The stairs, 2 or 3 flights of stairs, that's what I want.
Wow.
No, yeah, those are the movies I want. So
Mm-hmm.
I want those hard movies that the movies that people don't want to deal with. I'm not that type of mover to pick and choose what moves I want. I want all moves.
Mm-hmm.
Family, business, office, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you have, a lot of ambition. It sounds like you really want to get to it as soon as possible. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I would recommend people start calling in if they want your services. Um, so,
I'll be out in August. The peak of the moving is the summertime. It'll be right before the kids go. The kids will be going back to school. A lot of people don't want to move
mm-hmm.
into the summertime because the kids are out of school.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. The transition's a lot better. But it doesn't matter what part of the year you want to move. I'm here to make your transition into your new home a good one. A good experience. Nobody wants to move. Nobody wants to deal with moving their furniture.
Mm-hmm.
But with us, we're customer friendly. We're on time. We're going to do everything we have to do to make our customers feel 100% and have a 5-star review with us.
Mm. It's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, so I have that on the GoFundMe. If Brandon needs supplies, anything from, like even tools or anything just like wrappers that he could use, that would be a big help to him. So going back to Dallas, who do you have in Dallas?
What's the DFW? That is Fort Worth area. Like I said, my mother passed away last year. They moved from
Yeah.
Corpus Christi to Dallas, and to the Dallas Fort Worth area, Ainsville, Springtown area.
Mhm.
And they got their life together. Her husband was, I guess you could say my stepdad. He's a good man. He's willing to, kind of extend the olive branch, so I won't be out in the street. I was kind of fearful at first because I didn't know where I was gonna lay my head or where I was gonna try to set a foundation. But contacting them and being in communication with them, I feel kind of comfortable now to say that Fort Worth is going to be the area where I'm going to go ahead and lay my groundwork for the moving,
Mhm.
the new moving company.
Mhm.
But in the meantime, I'm going to get a job. I'm not going to sit there and not do nothing. Like I have to have some type of work and some type of revenue.
Mhm.
And it turns out that his boss owns those houses that I mentioned earlier. It's like 25 houses, and with houses and apartments, there always comes a lot of make ready, landscaping. So I know there's tons of work there.
Wow, interesting. Yeah. You're a working man. I've been talking to you for almost 3 years, and you're always busy. Even in prison, you're always doing something. Sculpting or like making statues or um, doing something with like radios and like technology wise. You're not just eating and sleeping in there like some people.
No,
You're busy.
nah. Yeah, I got some certificates that I've taken as well on the Edovo app. I try to stay busy. I read books. I try to expand my mind. Something rather than in the
Mhm.
journey though.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe even with the sculpting thing, I could we could probably start something with that. Get into some kind of business with that. Um, because Brandon does soap sculpting, which I never heard before.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe. I was hungry one day in here, and I just started doing it. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah." I was going through a rough time in here, and I wonder if I could make this statue, or I wonder if I could make this look like this, and yeah, I started off with some religious statues, and I went to some tracks. Ashtrays. I paint them, I wax them to where they look like glass. And so I make bears. I have a little trend in here. I call them ugly bears. If you
Mm.
get a bear with me, if you get a bear for me, it's gonna have a little tag that says ugly bear, and then you could actually name your ugly bear. And I'll paint it the color they wanted, and wax it and whatnot. And I don't know, it turned out to be a thing here. People were buying them and buying them and buying them and sending them home and getting them out for visitation. And I made a living like that again.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah.
fun.
Mm.
But I did that because I was hungry.
Yeah.
So food, you learn all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so Brandon is, busy with that. Like he said, he reads. He's into religion, different types of religion. Um, and yeah, so every time he calls, he tells me he's doing something. Um, so what about family wise? Do you plan on visiting the kids?
Yes, that's a
Mm-hmm.
big, everything that I'm doing is for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I dedicated 2026 to family. With that being said, I've refrained from a lot of things that I usually do or did. Mingling with people and avoiding altercations and just trying to find myself, so I can become a better dad. I'm going through some CPS stuff with my two youngest right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in close contact with the CPS office. I'm trying to get them to do a 401 extension. Since I'm going to be released soon, so I can have my shot at getting custody of them. They're probably I'm not enemies with their mom, or we have a understanding. However, I just want what's best for my kids. It's not about. Sometimes love isn't enough. You have to have that shelter and security and all that, and that's really what I'm aiming towards.
Yeah, and that's another thing you're working on. Obviously housing, getting a job to be able to, hopefully get back the kids, which is, really awesome. I think, for dads to be able to, actually get their kids, and the very long process and everything they have to go through to just be able to talk to them. Hopefully you can get the phone back, is what I keep telling Brandon, is that he should at least have his phone calls back with his small children.
Well, I have a court date coming up on the 18th. I'm at the phone calls, so hopefully God willing, everything works out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so anything else you would want to tell us about your plans or what you're doing right now?
I just want to say it's never too late to change, but the big walk when I step out these gates, I'm hoping somebody's watching me from afar and gonna watch my every move, and something good transpires out of it. You never, I don't expect instant gratification, but I know hard work pays off, and I have a good feeling about it.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who's been, like I said, talking to you for almost 3 years, I really believe in you, and, this time I think it's going to be different, and you're really committed. Obviously, you're older.
Yeah, 41.
Yeah.
I don't have 41, though.
Oh, no. Yeah, Brandon is young. He's young, but it's a number.
Yeah, just a number.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for talking to us, and I hope people get the message.
Okay, thank you too.
Bye.
Have a great day.